Hello traders and welcome back to the weekly market analysis. Let's get going and start off with the DXY. And if you remember last week, we were expecting DXY to finish this consolidation here and push back up towards our first target, which was this area here highlighted from the previous video. And we were seeing that this would be our first target. And in the coming week, we expect here the price to continue to push back up, even though we are at a high resistance level. You can see that the momentum is pretty strong here. And if it breaks above and consolidates, this is your entry towards the upside. So we expect the DXY to increase in the coming weeks. So keep an eye out on this possibility. We had a pre-NFP buy setup here. If you guys took it, well done. We just broke out of this area, but this was a smaller time frame setup. So I don't encourage you guys to trade on the lower time frames or before news events. This was prior to the NFP, and you see this candle was after the non-farm payrolls news released. So like I was saying, wait for this here to give you a pullback, wait for it to go a bit higher, the momentum to continue towards the upside, wait for a pullback, and then you can go with your buy setup. For EURUSD last week, if you remember, we were waiting for the price to give us a sign around this trend line here. And as you can see, the price dropped at the beginning of the week, then pulled back up, reached this trend line, slightly broke it, but it didn't give us any continuation towards the upside. And we wanted to see some consolidation. And if that happened, then the price would have gone towards the upside. But because the DXY was bullish, in our opinion, last week, we were expecting that EURUSD has a higher chance to go down and drop, taking out these lows here again and heading towards this order block area highlighted here. But we needed a confirmation. We didn't got the setup for EURUSD, unfortunately. But the way things are looking in the coming week, I'm expecting here a consolidation, reach this order block level, and then we'll see later on what happens. Before we move on to Pound USD, I'd like to invite you guys to hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel. And if you have any other requests for any other instruments that you'd like us to cover, head over in the comment section below, leave your instruments, and we'll do a video analysis for you guys in the coming streams. And also, if you want to check out our previous analysis, head over to the link in the video description below and you can find it over there. So now let's move on to Pound USD. And for Pound USD, if you remember, we did a midweek analysis for this one and we were in a sell setup from last week. We took the sell somewhere around this level on the lower time frames and we were expecting here a 333 pattern to develop. We had this first part of the pattern, then the second part was developing, and we were expecting it to take out these lows here, but unfortunately the price went back up before the NFP news. We got taken out for break even, and now the price is reversing, continuing its initial direction, and the pattern is still valid. So I'm expecting here the price to come back down, correct first, then come back down, collect all this liquidity here, and then we'll see what happens next. We also have another level that we have to watch it very closely, which is this one. It's a fair value gap area, and if the price reaches this level here and then gives us a consolidation afterwards, then most likely the price will drop, continue to drop, and take out these levels as well, because there's plenty of liquidity sitting below. So you can head over to the link in the video description to check it out. For dollar yen last week, this was a perfect setup for us. We were expecting the price here to consolidate, and as you can see, it came back to the previous core zone like we were saying, and then it started to go back up. And next week we expect here a consolidation and one more push towards the upside. Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Last week, if you remember, we were expecting the price here to consolidate and then drop one more time. We didn't get a nice corrective pattern. The price dropped, then pulled back deep and then dropped again, so we didn't have any setup. And the way things are looking here, you can see we reached this area here, which is not valid anymore, but there's plenty of liquidity sitting here below. We have a fair value gap area, which I'm expecting to be filled at some point. So in this regard, I'm expecting here a consolidation and one more push down, and we'll see if we'll reach this level or not. New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. Last week we were expecting the price here to consolidate, and you can see this consolidation was finished, and then the price started to drop, but again we didn't get any setup here. We just reached the trend line again, but it didn't give us a setup before the news, and the price took out this low again. In the coming week we expect here another consolidation, one more drop, reach this order block here, collect the liquidity, and then we'll update you. This trend line here is still valid. The price may correct towards it, then drop again, and so on. So we expect this area here to be reached at some point, and then we'll update you later on. For dollar CAD, as you can see in the thumbnail, and as you may already be aware, we did an analysis 2 weeks ago for this one, and we are expecting the price first to hit this level and then give us a consolidation that will reach its core zone, which was this level here, the previous area that the price corrected. And you can see the beauty of it. Here we have the impulse, a strong wave towards the upside, and the consolidation, basically a move that went sideways with a slow momentum. And when it reached this area here, it started to push back up. And before the NFP news, we had a nice setup here. It broke this level and the price went back up. We didn't get into this trade because it was a bit risky and it was prior to the news event. But like you can see in the thumbnail, we expect here a consolidation and then the bullish momentum to continue and resume. Okay, this is the target. First, I'm expecting the price in the long term to go even higher than that, but first and foremost, we have to wait for a consolidation to get our trades on, get ready for the uptrend, and then everything is good. If you want to check out the in-depth analysis that we did on USDCAD, head over to the link in the video description below and you can find it over there. Now for USDCHF, this was another perfect setup that we did last week in our video. You can head over and check out our previous analysis in the link in the video description. So like we were saying, we are somewhere around this zone here and we were expecting the price to hit this level here, the core zone. You see, similar to USDCAD, this was the impulse, strong wave up, then followed by this consolidation. It hit the core zone and then it gave you this reaction. So no setup at the moment. We have to wait here for a pullback similar to USDCAD and then go with this trade. Do not miss this trade because this will be a nice trade as well. For pound yen, we also did an analysis 10 days ago in which we're expecting the price to increase and then at some point give us a consolidation. And as you can see, the consolidation came. We have these three levels here highlighted with a purpose. The purpose was that if you remember, we were saying that the price, when it will start to consolidate, we have to watch one of these three areas to give us a bullish reaction. So the price, as you can see, corrected, reached this area, then dropped again. Unfortunately, it didn't hit the second zone, so this first area here became invalid. So now a good sign for us is that we broke the trend line. You can see this trend line here. I would like to see here a sideways move, and if we get a bullish reaction, then this is our trade towards the upside. And this, guys, will break this top as well. You can get a nice risk to reward, so keep an eye out on these possibilities. Moving on to gold. For this one, we did an in-depth analysis as well, and you can see that we had this level here highlighted, and I was saying that I would like to see this one broken with a strong candle followed by a consolidation for me to be confident in a trade towards the upside. If you want to check it out, you can find it as well in the link in the video description. There's also a silver analysis over there, but we'll get to this one next in line. But first, let's talk about gold. So like I was saying, I was expecting here the price to give us a strong bullish reaction above this level. We didn't. We got a wick here, just tagged this level and then started to fall. And as you can see here, we have highlighted this liquidity zone. And I was expecting that the price, if it doesn't break this area here, to continue to go down and collect this liquidity. And for this week, I'm expecting a consolidation, one more move down, take out this low, and eventually going towards this liquidity area. So gold, in my opinion, it will show us some bearish momentum. It could be short term. I'm expecting this one in the medium to long term to go up, but we have to wait for this consolidation to finish. We don't trade when the price is ranging. So for now, let's wait and see in what manner this will develop and what pattern it will provide. So let's wait for this consolidation, wait for the price to reach this level here, and then we'll see if we get a bullish reaction. Contrary, if we get a wave up that breaks this level here, then, as I was saying, wait for this consolidation, bullish reaction, another consolidation, and go with your trade towards the upside. For silver, if you remember, we did an analysis a few days back. You can check it out in the link below. And we were saying that until the price will not break this level here in a strong manner, similar to gold, followed by a pullback, then the bearish momentum will persist. And as you can see here, the price continued to drop, made the sharp wave down, and at the moment it is consolidating. So if this here gives you a small flag or a small pullback, then the next move is towards the downside and will most likely hit this liquidity area here. There's also plenty of liquidity to collect below, and for that, like I was saying, wait for this consolidation, one more move down, and see what happens. Contrary, like I was saying on gold, if this breaks out towards the upside followed by a consolidation, wait for a bullish reaction and then go with the trade, because at the moment we are in the middle of this range and we don't trade like this. We wait for the pattern to develop. Even though this could go down and give us a nice risk to reward, we won't take it because it's not based on our strategy and on our trading plan. Okay, so now let's move on to oil. And if you remember oil, we were saying that if the price stays below this yellow line here, then the likelihood of the bearish trend to continue is very high. So as you can see, the price went back down, and what we expect next for oil is a consolidation, and if you get here this price action, then one more move down is very likely. I don't know if this will break the low yet. My eyes are on the upside, and for that to happen, I prefer to wait a bit more, break these levels, consolidate, and if that happens, if we get a bullish reaction, then most likely we'll be heading towards the $100 level, okay? And that's for the medium to long term. So keep an eye out on this possibility. Don't trade it towards the downside. Focus on the upside. Wait for the price to break these levels here. I know it will take some time for this to develop like this, but I assure you guys, if this happens and you get a consolidation, most likely you'll get a nice risk to reward towards the upside, okay? For natural gas, price is basically in the same zone that it was last week when we did the analysis, and the price action here indicates that the price is consolidating. You can see we had this sharp drop, and this is normal here. I can expect here the price to consolidate a bit, and then we'll update you later on. We don't have anything clear. This could drop from here, create a succession of lower lows, but we don't know that for sure. So this one here is 50-50. We expect the price to consolidate. We'll see what type of consolidation it will develop here. Either it will be a complex one, or it will be something small and then push back down, take out this low, and continue towards the downside, creating new lower lows. Okay, so no trades for natural gas. For the S&P, if you remember last week, we were expecting the price to drop towards this trend line at least, and then resume its uptrend. We didn't get any setup here. The price didn't reach our target, but instead it went up earlier than we expected. So in the coming week, I'm expecting here consolidation, one more move towards the upside. NASDAQ, similar, we were expecting the price here to drop, consolidate, hit this trend line, but it didn't. It only fell short of that, and then the price started to move back up as we expected, but we didn't get any setup. We were expecting the price to go a bit lower. So in the coming week, I'm expecting here consolidation and one more move towards the upside. Bitcoin here is at a resistance level. So as you can see, this line here that we have is a resistance area. So I'm expecting here the price to give us a sign. In my opinion, this has a tendency to go up because the uptrend is pretty strong here. This is only a pullback for the bigger trend that went back up from these levels here. So I'm expecting here a consolidation and the price to continue to go back up. Ether, if you want to engage into any buy setups, Ether is the one. Better risk to reward, smaller market cap, and also the price is a bit lower than Bitcoin, so this could be a slow start. So for example, if Bitcoin decides to go up in a sharp wave, then Ether will definitely follow, but it will be a bit slower. So something like this, okay? And at some point I expect Ether to push back up strongly. So this pattern here could be a slow start for Ether. Wait for a setup, wait for a breakout, one of these two levels, consolidation, and then go with your trade, okay? So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel. And like I was saying, if you have any other instruments that you'd like us to cover, head over in the comment section below, leave us your pair, and we'll do an analysis for you guys in the coming streams. So with that being said, I wish you guys a happy trading week ahead, and don't forget to trade with care, and see you on the next one.